Imagine standing at the edge of your future with two doors, staring at two doors, one being a thrilling, adrenaline pumping seasonal firefighter position, and the other one a structured, full-time, permanent career as a firefighter with a municipal department. I've been there, and in this video, I'm gonna walk you through both stages of what it's like to be a seasonal firefighter and then being a full-time firefighter and the differences between the two. Which path is right for you? Which one is going to happen for you? Let's find out. I'm Corby. I was a wildland firefighter for 10 years until a lung injury took me out and ruined it. But you know what? I'm not going to let it stop me from helping you pursue the path that you want. Is seasonal firefighting ready for you, YouTube, or is a permanent full-time career right for you? They both have pros. They both have cons. This topic matters because many aspiring firefighters don't know where to start, and I'm telling you, it's easier than you think. Let's get into it. Seasonal firefighting. It's short term, usually in the summer months, from maybe April until Halloween time, into October until the rainy season comes. The pros to this, it's fast entry. They're gonna hire a lot of people rapidly to fill the positions on engines, hand crews, whatever it may be they're looking for. It's exciting. It's high paced. You're going to get a lot of training rapidly. You're going to be thrown into the fire quickly, and you're going to learn on the job really fast. It's just insane amount of training rapidly, and the next day you could be fighting a fire that you never thought you'd be at. The travel opportunities, let's start state, and then we'll talk federal travel opportunities. In the state, if you work for a department like CAL FIRE, it's going to be right here. It's going to be in the state, anywhere from the Oregon border down to the Mexican border, from the Pacific Ocean out to Nevada. Anywhere in the state you can be called to and see things and go places, help people. You never know what you're going to be when you're called out of state. You never know what's going to happen. For us, the 3 beeps meant you're going somewhere. You didn't know where until they told you, but you're going somewhere. On a federal level, if you go to the United States Forest Service or BLM or Department of the Interior, or like a national fire department or a private company that travels the United States, you could be in South Carolina one day. You could be in the Colorado Rockies. You could be out here in the Pacific. Anywhere. The opportunities are crazy. It's crazy to think the places you can go on a fire engine and the things you're going to see. And especially when you get there, if you're on a hand crew or like the Forest Service, they hike into fires, you're going to see ground that's literally untouched. Not anybody else has been there, but the wilderness and the nature and the things that happen. You're going to see that out there. You're going to you'll see things you never thought possible. Like I said earlier, great experience. You're going to find guys with a lot of skill levels, a lot of background levels, and a lot of things that people come together that you never would have met before, and come together to put a fire out, come together to work as a team and complete tasks and strategies. You're going to be on the fire. There's no hotels out there. You're going to be on the fire line, and then at nighttime you're going to bed down, learn how to make a little campfire for yourself or how to cook things. They have meals ready to eat that you carry with you. You just put it together in 10 minutes. You got freaking lasagna, you got macaroni and cheese, you got all kinds of things. It can lead into a path, if you're really interested, it can lead into a path of a full-time career later on in life. If you play that card and you want to transfer to a city department or a municipal department, or even within the Forest Service or BLM, you can move up through the ranks and it can turn into a full-time position. It's a great opportunity to get your foot in the door as a seasonal firefighter. The cons to a seasonal firefighter, whether federal or state, whatever you want, never mind the trucks in the background. Anytime I record a video, they come out. This is real life with Corby. This is what you're going to get. This is it. This is real life. No year-round job security. So as soon as it starts raining, unfortunately, you're going to get laid off because typically fire doesn't burn in the rain. We know that. Your season ends. You get laid off for 3 months, 6 months. When I first started, you got laid off for 90 days. You had to have 90 days off. I was a seasonal fireman, and at some point in the year, in the wintertime, you got a layoff date, and then you got The good thing about the layoff date is you knew your return date was 90 days later, so you could guarantee that you'd be coming back. Limited benefits. When you get hired, you find out, you fill out all your paperwork. Now an airplane. Thank you, appreciate it. You fill out your benefits, and you have medical benefits. You have retirement. You have this and you have that. When the season ends, bam! You have to either pay the premiums for that medical plan that your department was paying for, or you have to go find your own insurance. We paid for our own on the 90 days that I was laid off. So at the 90-day mark, you got hired again, you refilled out all the paperwork, and then there you go. You went on and carried on. But you're gonna lose that medical and physical, or the medical and retirement and all that. It's not gonna be paid for while you're off. And that's truly unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate, but I think in today's world, they're trying to figure out how to make that happen for guys. But when I was there, you lost it for 90 days. Physically demanding. Holy smokes. You're going to be hiking, especially if you go with the Forest Service. Those guys will hike 5 or 6 miles before they get to the fire. So you got chainsaws, you got all your gear, you got backpacks with water in them, you got hand tools, gas for the chainsaws, extra parts. It could be 5 or 6 miles. Typically with CAL FIRE, we started right at the fire's edge, right where it was, and then you made your way out and chase the fire. Yeah, we got way out there too, but it's physically demanding. You're gonna need to hike. You're gonna need to do physical activities long before you apply, because one of the first things you do after you get hired, or even in the training process, is you go on a 3 or 4 mile hike. You have to go run out, and you have to go run 3 or 4 miles to prove that you can keep up. They call it a pack test, where you put a backpack on with all the weight and everything, and you go on hikes that you're going to get a lot of good views at the top of the mountains where you're going for hikes, but it's going to make you or break you real quick. Break in your boots before you go. Take care of yourself. Know that you're going to have a lot of weight on your back, and you're going to be hiking a long ways. I got my Stanley Cup. I've got the iced coffee. We've got the Nevin sunglasses. They're all here. I appreciate you being here. Listen, let's get into full-time firefighting. It's a little bit harder to get into, but what is it? It's a full-time position in a city where you go, and the testing process will be a lot longer. The training will be a lot longer, because especially with the city department, because you have to go through a lot more like structure firefighting. If you're a paramedic, a lot of medical stuff that you have to clear through. It's a full-time position, so they're going to do a deeper background check. They're going to do a lot more rigorous training. It's going to take a lot longer, but in the long run, it's going to turn out, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. It includes, you're going to do things like structure fires, medical aids, rescues, traffic accidents, anything. You never know what you're going to go to. Grocery store, because there's a kid locked in the car and it's 100 degrees outside and you have to use your Slim Jim to get into the car. You never know what kind of call you're going to get, even in that kind of fire engine. In the city, it's going to be a lot broader. In the wildland side, like I was talking about earlier, you're going to get a lot of wildland stuff. In the city, anything is going to happen. The pros to it, these are good pros. Guaranteed year-round employment. Stable career, no matter if it's June, July, August, pouring rain in December, January, February, you're going to be at work. You're going to be at work. You're going to be on a fire engine in the pouring rain, responding to traffic accidents, structure fires. You never know. Christmas, holidays, birthdays, vacations you're going to miss. Things like that are going to happen where you're going to miss that stuff, but you're going to have a permanent job. So you'll get to take vacation with your family knowing that you get to come back to your job when you get back. You'll have a shift, you'll have everything going on, and it won't be any big deal. No problem. Better pay, better benefits. The federal government right now is fighting to get better pay for their wildland firefighters. They deserve better. Athletes make a lot of money. Wildland firefighters don't make nothing. I was paid minimum wage, but the way that our schedule was set up and overtime, I made decent money. I make more money in construction now than I did as a firefighter, but that's a whole nother video. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that. You're going to have better pay. You're going to have better benefits. The health benefits are going to be year round. You're going to make a better salary The city departments have more money to spend on their firefighters, especially if you're a paramedic or like a hazmat technician where you go into hazardous situations. You're going to get those extra pay benefits. You're going to get that extra incentives. Your benefits, your health insurance, your retirement, they're going to be paid for. Paid time off. So when you go on that family vacation, you're going to be paid to go to Disneyland. You're going to be paid to go to Hawaii, wherever you take your family. Maybe you're getting married and you're going to take some time off to go on your honeymoon. Paid or a city municipal department, you'll get that paid time off. Typically, wildland departments don't really give you paid time off. So you get your 3 days on. I worked a 3-day on, 4-day off shift. So your 4 days off, you weren't paid. And there was no way to compensate for that. With a municipal department that's full time, you're going to get paid time off. So it's a huge, huge benefit. Like I said earlier, you're not just going to go to wildland calls. Yeah, you'll get them, but you're going to go EMS, hazmat, rescues, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of variety of calls. It's harder to get hired. I talked about this earlier. I'll hit on it again. It's more competitive. The testing is harder, and the certifications that are required are a lot more than just becoming a wildland fireman. Because for wildland, you just have to be like first aid CPR and know how to lay hose, cut with a chainsaw, cut hand line, your basics to be out in the wildland. When you go to a city department or a municipal department, you're going to have to know things like first aid, way deeper into first aid, way deeper into structure firefighting, turnout gear, fighting fire inside, how to rescue somebody inside, how to pull ceilings, how to vent a roof, and get up on a roof of a building and vent that with fire below you. The training is just more rigorous. It's a longer hiring process as well. It's going to take longer because they need to do a deeper dive into your background. Are you a paramedic? Are you just an EMT? What kind of training do you have versus what you need? So they have to figure that out. And if you get hired within 90 days, you have to have this certificate and that certificate. Your Class A license to drive the fire engine, or Class B to drive the bigger fire engine. So it's just a longer process to get hired, longer process to do things, and just get in. And then once you're hired, going through a probationary period is typically going to be a lot longer. On a wildland firefighting engine, your probationary period is your first call at wildland fire or whatever fire you go to, and be like, hey, you passed or you didn't. And if you didn't pass, well, we'll make you better. I promise, we'll make you better. That's our job, and that's what we're going to do because we need you. Station life. These are the same on both, I'm going to say. It might be a little bit different in a city department, but the station life, you have to adapt to personalities, who you work with. You're going to learn to cook. You're going to have to know how to clean. You're going to have to know how to do all these different things. And it's important to learn those things. Like I did a video about learning that stuff before you go to the station for the first time. Know how to clean a toilet, know how to make a bed, know how to make a pot of spaghetti, the basics. And then when you get there, you can emphasize on it. But adjusting to personalities, being at work for 3 or 4 days at a time. Like I said, we worked 3 days on, 4 days off. So you lived at the fire station, you didn't go home. I think city departments do 48-hour shifts, and then they're off, and then they're back, and then they're off. It's a balance, but you're going to learn a lot about yourself, a lot about other people, how other people live, how you live, the conflicts, how to overcome the conflicts because you're together and you're going to have to be together. Which one is right for you? Which one was right for you? I personally was started as a seasonal firefighter. I never really got into full-time firefighting because my lung injury took me out of the game. But my goal was to become an engineer, a captain, and I wanted to go up to a battalion chief. And when you get to the captain level, even at an engineer level, the one who drives the engine, it would have turned into a full-time career. I always had the 90 days off, but I knew on the last day, I knew what my hire date was, so I knew I would be back. My paperwork was always ready to go. I went through a quick rehire academy, and away I went. Like I said, I would have moved up through the ranks to battalion chief, which would have been a full-time position. You can do full-time positions when you get into a municipal department, that automatically you're full-time. So there's no You're not going to be off for 90 days at any time. You're going to get hired. You're going to do 30 years. If you don't like it, you're going to leave and go do something else, but it's always going to be there. Your job is always going to be there. I wanted to be a full-time guy, but it just, like I said, God had other plans, and that's kind of what happened. I'm in construction. I love my job. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but when fire's in your blood, fire's always in your blood. And that's just the way it is. And if you're not sure, start as a seasonal firefighter. Start with a volunteer department. Find out if you actually like firefighting, because you might sign up. I had a guy tell me, wow, the fire that we were fighting was a lot hotter than it looked in the textbook. And firefighting wasn't his career. He decided to change his mind. So if you have the option, start as a volunteer. Work into a seasonal position. If you love it, take it into a full-time position. That's a good route to go. There's nothing wrong with that. I had a gentleman from Michigan ask me to make this video, and he says that they have seasonal positions, well, full-time positions out there, and he was wondering what we have out here in California. So with CAL FIRE, you have seasonal positions that can lead into full-time positions, and with different departments, you can start full-time. So which is right for you? That's totally up to you. It's whatever you want. If it's in your blood and it's related in your family, your dad or mom or your generational firefighter, that might be dive right in full time, both feet, jump in both feet. But like I said, when you get to that first fire and you find out if you like it or don't like it, it's in your blood or it's not in your blood. It's in my blood. I wish today I could go fight fire. I wish I could have been at the Palisades fire fighting fire. I wish I could have been at all these other tragedy fires that have happened over the years that I've missed because of my injury, but that's okay. Every firefighter's journey is going to be different. The first person that sees this is going to be like, oh, seasonal's for me. That's what I want to do, because in my 90 days off, I can go do that. Oh, no, not me. I want to be full-time. I want to be a paramedic. I want to be on a rescue squad. I want to be on a truck. I want to be a truckie. I want to do this. I want to do that. That's perfect. Comment in the video. Comment again and let me know what you think is right for you. Is it seasonal, or do you want to go full-time? I'm Corby. I'm glad I could provide this information to you. Leave it in the comments also if you got any other video ideas you want to see, because I'll be glad to do them for you. I truly love you. I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful afternoon.